Alrighty, guys, how you doing? Um, just gonna do a little video. First video, actually, it's my first video, and it's gonna be on Saturn and Saturn's day. So I'm gonna do posts and writings about each day of the week and the planet that rules, and the constellation that rules. So Saturn is Capricorn. And the house that rules, the 10th house, and what that means. So each day of the week we can go through and get like an understanding of what each day is bringing our awareness to of the solar system. So we'll go through the 7 days of the week twice, or twice and a bit less. We could do some asteroids, but it'll basically be like that, exploring the solar system through the planetary days of the week. So that'll be the next little astrological journey we'll take. So Saturn rules Saturday, and Saturn's day is it Saturn. So Saturn is the 30-year cycle of the father, Chronos, the devouring father, time. It's actually a symbol for the father, or time, actually time, that devours everyone, everything. It literally, it's that Thanatos process, or the death process, and that everyone will die and experiences death. So Saturn in Scorpio right now, definitely about death and transformation. So that's a powerful thing that Saturn is completing now. He's at 29 degrees and is almost complete with this cycle into death and rebirth. But look, I think the mystery of Saturn is really about working hard. It's what you work hard at to become an authority and have your own self-authority, to become empowered with. It's work hard at. It's what you must work hard at. So wherever Saturn is in your natal chart, it'll indicate the way that your soul is wanting to, where it's wanting to work, what kind of work it's wanting to do, and what that looks like. So it's important to know your natal Saturn. You get a hit of it when you're 30, 60, and 90 if you make it that far. For the very rare souls, you might even get the 120. But it's a powerful initiation. It happens 28, 30, and you'd get. This is when Saturn is the great malefic, so it's not easy. It's not a real nice thing. It's actually really very challenging initially, after going through the Jupiterian stage at 12, 24, where it's yes. Saturn works with a no. Saturn is a no. It's a restriction. It's a boundary. It's a no. It's the father. It's responsibility. It's what you have to do. It's not this pleasant thing, but from that work, that hard work, and that commitment to being the boundary, putting boundaries and limitations on yourself, there is a yoking that happens in that, a great work, as it were, that you become an authority and you gain success and achievement. It's really about gaining the horn of plenty. It's working to gain the horn of plenty, which is the symbol of Capricorn. Relates to the mythology of the horn of plenty, which I believe Zeus gifted to the goat, or someone who raised him. He was raised by I believe by someone's just come back. Anyway, so it's basically working hard to achieve your personal. You're like an infinite thing that keeps refilling itself. So to understand your natal Saturn, you look at where your natal Saturn is, what house and what constellation it's in, and that's where you have to work. For example, my natal Saturn is Scorpio, 5th house, 22 degrees. So it really wants to work at sexual transformation and expression of that. So close those doors. And so anyway, finding out where your natal Saturn is definitely important, especially when you come up to that 30 cycle. You really get to think about how you want to, where you have to work at. Rather than, if you know your natal Saturn as well, you can work hard at what actually your soul wants you to do, rather than what an external authority or external power is actually kind of suggests that, you know, you should be doing. So it's definitely a key in sort of breaking that minutial field. But yeah, so anyway, Saturn, Capricorn. Capricorn is the constellation of the 10th house, which Saturn rules, and Capricorn is a half goat, half fish. So it's a symbol basically for gaining the peak experience from life, from the earth, the material, physical world, and the water, the emotional, feeling world. You know, when you think of living on the coast, you know, I think this is a great sort of symbol for Capricorn, in terms of it's really about getting the peak experience from life, getting peak experiences emotionally and physically. So that's what Capricorn does. That's what Capricorn wants to do in a higher sense. Systematize things, create a system. Saturn is the mature masculine, the mature man, the elder man, the father. And Saturn's work is to create a system that provides security for his polarity in the moon. We talk about the sun being the youngest male. There's a trinity of male, masculine lines. The sun being the young, very young male. Mars being the adolescent or the maturing male. And Saturn being the old, mature male. They have pairs. The sun is paired with Gaia, actually, who raises the sun, or the moon alchemically, which is also another sort of key where the sun is linked to the moon's sort of more spiritual side. That's sort of an alchemical key correspondence with the moon, which is the mature feminine. But anyway, after the sun is raised, he becomes the growing male, the adolescent male, as perhaps in Mars, and that is the polarities in Venus, the young feminine, and finally Saturn, the mature male, and the other side of that is the moon. So Saturn really is creating and building structures in the world structures, and also has the role of world teacher, teaching the lessons. He actually has a role of, you know, the world teacher is definitely associated with Saturn. So it's like, you know, at this stage that you actually become the teacher, the world teacher, and that's when your energy is definitely recognized for going through, or at least being an extension of the current solar archetypes in their current play. So the Saturn return is very significant, and it's important to know what it means in your chart and how it looks, and to be honest with that process so that you can get the best from it consciously. So yeah, getting a natal reading will be key for that. For me or any other astrologer, it's a great thing to do. Same with, I mean, all the planets as they cycle and do their natal returns. It's great to have conscious awareness of how that looks, and have conscious awareness of the original soul intent, so you can bring that forward consciously. But yeah, so Saturn's day is really about working hard and really enjoying the fruits of the labor. You know, Saturn really, ideally, we've worked, you know, for the previous 5 days hard at our personal love and labor of life, and we can enjoy the fruits of that on Saturn's day, or the horn of plenty that we've earned from our work. Enjoy the system and the, you know, the luxury that affords us. So I mean, that's sort of the key of the 10th of Saturn, 10th house. The 10th house is career. You know, it's the outer world, it's achievement, it's how the world perceives you. It's sort of that point on the cardinal cross, which is outer appearance and recognition. You know, the world and Saturn, it works for recognition. Well, it gains that recognition anyway. I don't think necessarily it ideally seeks it, because I mean that's sort of a lower sort of level thing. But actually, when you are an authority by your actual work and your real efforts, you will get recognized in the world, and that's what Saturn is sort of indicating and suggesting. One, you know, that's the end goal, at least in a way, towards the work. So, you know, although you don't focus on that and you don't really do those things for the ultimate for getting recognition. You will get recognition if you actually do the work. So it's a good gauge of where you're at, actually, the world perception, the 10th house, in what you're actually an authority of, what you've actually worked and earned and worked for. So this is sort of the 10th house, Capricorn, Saturn's day today, and that's a little video. So yeah, thank you.